we're talking down to our kids, we're altering. When we're negatively, responding to them and behaving towards them in really negative ways, it actually is altering their brain, right? And that's where trauma comes in. That's where it actually can affect their language processing. That's where it actually affects their emotional regulation. So an example of this is when we tell kids, and I'm going to use this example later on today and probably many times throughout this podcast, stop crying. Think of that. How many times do we tell kids stop crying? And I've said that before. And then it was like, once I understood the power behind that, I never said it again. Stop crying. I look back and I think of this one video that I watched one time that just absolutely altered my brain chemistry. When we tell kids to stop crying, is that verbal abuse? No, it's not. But let's dive into what that actually means, okay? Let's think of, as adults, when someone tells us, like when I'm, all worked up, when I'm sad, when I'm frustrated, when I'm angry, and someone tells me to stop crying, I promise you that is a moment where I feel so unsafe. Like when I am feeling like that, I know that I need a hug, maybe I need some space, maybe I need to talk to someone. But if someone comes up and tells me to stop crying, not only does it make me feel like my feelings are not justified, it makes me feel then like, okay, something's going on in my brain, like what's wrong with me? Why am I behaving like this right now? Why are they questioning why I'm crying? There must be something wrong with me. I want you to take that moment and think of what it feels like for us as adults. Now, if we think of our children telling us that, think about the times that maybe you would have, became emotional or cried in front of your child. Have they ever told you to stop crying? No, but they're not going to tell you to stop crying, because that is not a response that they have. So why do we do it as adults? Why do we tell children to stop crying? And it doesn't matter what it is. It does not matter, because when kids cry, it does not mean that they're just being big babies. It doesn't mean that they're always throwing tantrums. Yeah, sometimes they are throwing tantrums, but it means, the crying means that they are upset about something, that they're frustrated about something, and they have the right. When we're telling them to stop crying, we're telling them that they don't have the right, that their feelings are justified, that they don't have the right to cry. They don't have the right to feel the things that they need to feel. Then what does that teach them? Well, it teaches them to bottle things up. I'll never understand how we can look at a child and say something like stop crying, or, ask a child to calm down. Like, just think about that. How do we expect our children to do those things if we're not modeling? That's like asking me to build a house when I have absolutely no idea. I have no background information at all on construction, on how to create the foundation of a house. I don't know any of that. I don't know any of that stuff. I don't even know how to work tools. And we're gonna ask kids who don't have the skills, who haven't had the skills modeled to them, who haven't been taught, we're gonna ask them to calm down? That's outrageous to me, and it doesn't make any sense. So the things that we're modeling, the way that we're speaking to kids, is all teaching them how they're going to respond to the world, how they're going to talk, how they're going to behave.